If you're thinking about bringing a new Beagle into the family, congratulations! These dogs are amazing, and you and your dog's lives are about to change for the better. You have a decision now that's quite an important one. Should you adopt a rescue Beagle or buy a puppy? This is far from a black and white decision, as there are definite pros and cons to both. So let's look at both options to help you decide whether to adopt or buy a Beagle. Adopting a Beagle. You might think that your chances of finding Beagles at a shelter are pretty slim, but that's not necessarily the case. In July 2022, the U.S. Department of Agriculture investigated complaints about a mass breeding facility that provided Beagles to laboratories for experimentation, which resulted in the rescue of 4,000 Beagles. While this is just one example, there are Beagles being sent to shelters every day, and they would love a new home with someone kind like yourself. Let's look at the pros and cons. The pros of adopting a Beagle. Your dog might already be house-trained. Many Beagles come from homes where they were certainly loved, but for some reason or another, their owners simply could not take care of them anymore and had to bring them to a shelter. Many of these dogs are already house-trained and have a good and friendly temperament, and this can save you a lot of stress. You're saving a life. Statistically, every year, 390,000 dogs hosted in shelters are euthanized. While some shelters are no-kill shelters, even then, a dog doesn't have a very good quality of life, as so many animals are already being housed there, and it's likely that they don't have enough staff to give them much attention. By taking home just one Beagle, you are helping to give them a good life, and in some cases, even saving their life. It's a noble thing to do, and your dog is going to love you all the more for taking them away from such a tragic situation. Adopted dogs are often the sweetest. Dogs are pack animals and simply do not do well on their own. While they may have some playtime in a shelter with other animals, this is not always the case. Spending time alone in their cage, except for the occasional walk, is depressing and very hard on animals that are instinctually wired to be social. Rescuing a Beagle from this makes an enormous difference in their lives, and many dog owners believe that their rescue dogs understand that you've saved them, and they love you all the more for it. The cons of adopting a rescue Beagle. Dogs may have been abused. A rescue shouldn't be taken lightly, and there is always a chance that the former owner was unkind. That means you may need to go into this with the knowledge that your dog may have been abused and is going to require a lot of patience and love in order to feel safe and accepted in their new home. It's an ugly truth, but one that you need to be aware of. If you take that Beagle home, you need to be willing to put in the work to help repair their broken hearts, instead of simply giving up after a week and putting them back in the shelter. Trust us, it may take a while, but it's worth every minute of your time that you invest to see the new light and love in your Beagle's eyes. Dogs may already have health issues. Not all dogs are in the best of health, but not all owners are either. Some older rescue dogs may have health conditions, so you might need to do a little research to make sure that you can properly care for them. These dogs still have plenty of love to give, and the shelter can advise you of any health issues that they might have in advance. Buying your dog from a breeder, pros and cons. Now that we've looked at the pros and cons of adoption, let's see how buying a new puppy from a breeder compares, so that you'll have all the facts that you need to make your final decision. The pros of buying your dog from a breeder. Genetic history gives you a better idea of their health. When you purchase a puppy from a licensed breeder, you will be given information about their lineage, and this can help you see if there are any health issues that are passed in their family line. Preventing bad habits is easier than breaking them. Training a puppy from scratch can be a bit of an uphill battle. For instance, a pup can only hold their pee for approximately 1 hour for every month that they've been alive. Puppies, especially Beagle puppies, also go through a chewing phase while they are teething. That can take you by surprise if you haven't prepared. That said, if you've raised puppies before, then you know that it's easier to stop bad habits early than it is to get a dog to stop doing something that they've already been doing for many years. An informed breeder can teach you a lot. A good breeder knows all about the puppy that they are giving you, as they have literally raised generations of that line. They also know more about the breed that they are selling than your average Joe. You can certainly Google the information, but some potential owners like knowing that they can draw on years of experience, and it's a phone call to their breeder away. The cons of going with a breeder. Cost. Purchasing a new Beagle puppy from a breeder can be expensive. It all depends on their pedigree, really, with the average cost of a Beagle pup being around $500, although pedigreed pups may fetch anywhere from $1,000 to as much as $2,000. With rescues, typically, you'll just be paying for the cost of shots and the spaying or neutering, so adopting a Beagle will cost you significantly less. The puppy mill risk. Not all breeders can be trusted, unfortunately. With a popular breed like Beagles, there is a lot of money to be made from selling them. And because of this, many puppy mills start mass-producing them in cramped, often unsanitary conditions, with little or no regard for their health. So, adoption or buying from a breeder? Which is better? Well, both of them have their own pros and cons, and it's for you to decide. At Beagle Care, we firmly believe in the importance of adopting dogs from shelters and rescue organizations. When you adopt, you're not only gaining a new companion, but also making a positive impact on the community. Do like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more Beagle Care videos.